me too, Chadley. I thought they were dead.
Far worse, Trixandra. They're nearly almost dead, but not quite.
You got a war face? Ah! That's a war face! Now let me see your war face! Ah!
This is my 5th time recording this because the other 4 didn't record the audio because my microphone was off for some stupid reason. Alright, I'm gonna just get through this again. For Mary, or for the beginning, Portfolio 4's animation, there's no way she can be holding herself up like this. So, for like this pose right here, it'll make more sense. But she's gotta be down a little bit more. And going forward, this should change right here. Like, instead of her like kicking out like that, she just should go for the backflip already. Like, go like that, or probably already have her legs out or something like that. I gotta like record myself doing that motion and see how I would do it if I can do a backflip, that is, and not hit my head. All right. Her hands kind of clip through. Her hands clip through the surface too. I don't know if you saw that earlier, but oh, there it was. You know what? Never mind. Her hands clip through the surface. That's it. She should at least kick off the wall when she's doing the backflip. As for the backflip in general, it's okay. Lands okay. Could be lower for landing. Right here, it looks like she's being pulled by strings, so she should be like. She should. I should change that basically. This foot should be landing forward instead, because this one lands right here, which it shouldn't do that at first. For the run, it looks very wonky, and I gotta fix that. As for her coming up, it looks like she's swimming underwater. She's like coming up, so I gotta like have her hands up in the air, or at least grab onto the surface up here, and her feet need to be flat, like planted on the ground. The leg art can be done better. Right here, she should be like in a different sort of pose, or like a more squashed pose, basically. She should stretch out a little bit more right here. I don't know. Kind of looks weird to me. There's a little bit of, I don't know what's going on with her pants and her clothing in general, but that's like I guess that's a render cam error, just like how I didn't like the scene, which, yeah, I'm gonna say that anyways, when I'm finished with this. Her hand should be high above her head when she's like jumping, and she should probably, I don't know, like, I guess the kick motion would be better, because she just kicks one leg forward, but doesn't like kick the other. She just does that. As for the landing, it's okay. She could be down a little bit more, or it could look like she squashed down a little bit more. And she should overshoot at the end when she goes up for like the arm fold, and not make it so that her hand clips through her elbow. In general, like some things I should do, not to the character, or I guess to the scene, would be like add some lighting and make the camera like actually be like a person, like where they're just recording, and add some overshoot for the camera. For this animation, there isn't really much to be said about it, since this didn't really get many critiques, but for the beginning, the character moves a little too much. It should be like right here in the beginning and like come up like that. Sorry. Kind of looks like the character's floating a bit right here. I mean, probably doesn't look that way, or it does. It depends on what you think about it, but I think that, I guess because how the camera is set up. And instead of like making his head come down like that, like where he hits his head on the rail like that, just boink. He should just be in like this pose right here when he gets out of the window, like a little bit bent forward though, and then walk down the stairs.
What do we do, Chadley? I thought they were dead.
Okay, I'm gonna stop that right there. For her, her mouth shapes need to be pushed a little bit more, and she moves a little too much. Basically, it looks a little bit floaty throughout the animation, and I guess I can make her blank because she's just. Well, no, actually, because I guess like because of the dialogue, I guess you wouldn't be blinking like every word she says. Like, imagine blinking every word you say. All right. Anyways, for him, he's a little bit floaty too, and he definitely needs his mouth shape to be pushed a little bit more. And some of his motions are really weird, like this one right here.
Andra, there, nearly almost dead, but not quite.
Yeah, that's because I added too many poses, and then I tried to delete some. And it's trying to like go back and forth on it, so I should just delete all those in general and like just redo it, like add the 2 strong ones and like go from there for the in-betweens. For her, she's still floating basically, especially when she goes to like go to him like that. Now as for the end, this guy's frozen except for his arm, so it's like isolated movement. And as for her, just look at her face. I mean, it's not like it's nothing bad, but it's just funny.
You got a war face? Ah! That's a war face! Now let me see your war face! Ah!
Alright, as for this one, there's nothing wrong with I don't think there's anything wrong with the like beginning. I guess some mouth shapes can be pushed for him. And his eye can be a little bit more like scarier. I don't know how to make it scarier. I don't know. Franklin's a really bizarre model. But anyways, for Green over here, he can, I don't know, it looks sort of step tangent-ish, if you know what I mean. Like how he goes from this to just like this and then this. Yeah, there's something I need to add, like an in-between, or just get rid of this pose in general and like make it somehow get to this. As for Franklin, he like dips down again, like when he says that's a war face. That's a war face, like he right here.
That's a war face. Now let me.
He kind of goes back down a little bit more, but that's not really a big thing. I guess it can be a little bit slower, but for the rest of the animation, there's not really wrong with it. Hard to go. Screams at him, the camera shakes, implementing that Franklin fell. For the end, it'll be okay for Frank because he's just scratching his head and like putting both hands on his knees, but oh, his hand, I didn't notice that. Whoa, wait a minute. Holy crap. His hand breaks. Oh my gosh, I didn't even see that. And my instructor never even said anything about that. I guess it's because it went by too fast. But I'm gonna go back and redo that because his hand, oof. I don't know if that happened. Wait, does that happen? You know what? I'm gonna look into that in my own time. But for him, he just walks forward. Like he could be doing something else in general, or just be doing a whole different thing. I don't know. He probably should be like, did I do that? Like Eddie Murphy. Wait, Steve Urkel. Sorry. Alright, for the end credits, there's my name, character animator, my email, my LinkedIn, and I'm probably gonna get rid of my Instagram because that doesn't have any of my animation on it. My art station, the music, of course, by me, and the 2 audio clips by Gravity Falls and Full Metal Jacket. So, and another thing I'm gonna add is, or get rid of, is the rigs are gonna, all the rigs that you see right here, they're gonna be added to the end credits, like underneath, or like just in the same thing right here at the end. But I'm gonna keep it as Portfolio 6 at the top, or for animation production and so on. And I'm gonna just name them accordingly. I'll probably do it on like a second page, like I'm gonna make it like go by like on a second page, but I'm gonna try to not make it so long. Anyways, that's all I can say about my animations.